Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Tuesday, 30th of November 2021, and we're looking at one method in which the gold and silver pumpers deceive you into believing gold and silver are many hundreds, if not thousands of percent undervalued. Now, before we show you their trick using the US debt clock, let's just establish one thought. We are not saying for a moment that gold and silver have not lacked the rather exponential growth of many asset classes, such as equities and cryptos and fine art. They have lacked that growth. But at the same time, if you only allowed for inflation or CPI, they've both actually performed quite well, and better than the pumpers would have you believe they should have performed. And so their outrageous claims of $20,000 gold and $3,000 silver using the US debt clock is both ludicrous and deceiving. So let's take a look. Welcome to Illuminati Silver. It's Tuesday, the 30th of November 2021. And earlier this morning we produced our morning update and we've put a link below. During the update we pointed out that we shall be producing another video today. And this is what we're doing now. And this is primarily based on how the gold and silver and precious metal pumpers con you into believing that gold and silver are thousands of percent undervalued. And hopefully we'll be able to show you why that is not the case. Why do they do it? Because they want you to buy gold and silver, because most of them have businesses centered around those precious metals. So there should be no surprise there. And others who do not have businesses in gold and silver are merely repeating what the pumpers tell you in order to gain views on their YouTube. And we're going to show you one of the ways, and there are many, rest assured, that they do this. They go to what you can see on the screen as the US debt clock. And they say this to you. Silver in 1913 was $2.66 per ounce, and today should be worth $3,096, whereas in reality it's worth less than $23. Look how silver is so grossly undervalued. And then they say gold. Gold in 1913, can you see on the right hand side? I'll enlarge it slightly. Gold, $28.90. It should be worth $21,620. Look at the debt clock at the top. We've got a national debt of $29 trillion. And what is the gold price? Well, the gold price is just under $1,800. So look how vastly underpriced gold and silver is. Well, stop there immediately. This dollar to silver ratio doesn't mean that in 1913 silver was $2.66 an ounce and is now worth $3,000, or gold was $28.90 and is now worth $21,000. It does not mean that at all. And the way I can prove that to you is you just put your mouse over that area, and what it says here, US dollar to silver ratio 1913. The year-over-year increase in the US M2 money supply in 1913 divided by the yearly world production of silver in 1913. And then you put it over today's value, and it says the year-over-year increase in the US M2 money supply divided by the yearly world production of silver. In other words, what they're trying to say to you is that in 1913, for every $2.66 increase in the M2 money supply, 1 ounce of silver was produced. Now today, for every ounce of silver that is produced, $3,096 in M2 is created. Similarly, the same applies to gold. Now let's be quite blunt about this. The value of commodities are not in direct proportion to the number of dollars produced. They are affected, of course they are. If the dollar value falls, their prices tend to rise when they're originally valued in dollars, and when the dollar value goes up, their prices tend to fall, but not in direct proportion. But we're going to uncover this myth further. Let's take a look at what the price of silver was in 1913. And we look at this chart here, and we go to 1913, which is difficult to circumnavigate, but I will get there. Nominal value there was 60 cents. Can you see that at the bottom? Compare that to the debt clock telling us it's $2.66. So how can we value what the value of silver is today? Well, we just go to an inflation calculator. And we can see immediately, because I've already set this up, that $1 in 1913 is worth $27.94 today, with a cumulative rate of inflation of 2,693%. So if I type in 60 cents, which is the value of the ounce of silver at the time, and recalculate it, this is telling us that the inflation component of the value of the dollar at the time to now is $16.76. So with the silver price currently, and let's go back to it, at say $23, we can see that silver has performed better than inflation as it is measured. Now, I know some people will say, well, let's be honest, the inflation rate is rigged. Inflation's much higher than that. So be it. But even if you doubled the inflation rate that they declared, you're still only looking at $32. Okay, if you compound it, it will be greater, admittedly. But that's an average inflation rate over the last year of 6.2%. But over the whole period, we can see, and we thought, well, maybe this calculator is wrong. Let's use a different calculator. So we used another CPI indicator, and we type in 60 cents, which was the price of silver at the time, press calculate, and we can see it has buying power on this calculator of the same figure. And I'll read what it says. 60 cents in 1913 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $16.76 today, an increase of $16.16 over 108 years. The dollar had an average inflation rate of 3.13% per year between then and today, producing a cumulative price increase of 2,693%. This means that today's prices are 27.9, or if you like, 28 times higher than the average prices since 1913. Let's take a look at gold. Historical price of gold in 1913 was $18.92. Let's, for the sake of argument, call it $19. So I type $19 into the inflation calculator from 1913 to the present time, and we get a figure of $530. Let's do it on the other calculator, same figure. $19 in 1913 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $530 today. The dollar had an average inflation rate of 3.13% per year. This means that today's prices are virtually 28 times higher than average prices since 1913. Now, gold, as I've already shown you, is not $530, but gold is currently just under $1,800, as you can see. So gold and silver have performed better than the average inflation rate over this period. Considerably better, in fairness. And one could argue potentially gold has vastly outperformed silver, which we have said on previous occasions. Although, when they do rise, silver has a blow-off top and has a marked increase during a bull market compared with gold, but eventually then falls back down. And if we take the price of silver and the price of gold from other periods, even if we go 10 years later to 1923, gold was $21. And what's remarkable is 1933, it's $26. Now it is higher virtually, not always, but virtually every 10 years. 43, $33. 53, okay, $34. 63, $35. 73, $97. 83, $424. Now it did fall back for 93 at $359 and marginally increased in 2003. But if you look through the generations of gold, and the same is not that dissimilar with silver, these rises are not 5,000%, 2,000%, 1,000%, but steady increases. So don't be fooled by this debt clock. People showing you this are basically trying to state that because they've produced that amount of dollars, the dollar devalues direct proportion to the number that are produced in terms of the value of commodities. That is false, that is deceiving, and that is how the pumpers con you. What do you think? Do share your thoughts. If you disagree, disagree. If you agree, great. If not, share your views. Don't say, I don't agree. Let us know why you would argue with that case. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, press the bell sign. Hope you've enjoyed this. We'll produce more like this in time to come. Illuminati silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.